So this is something you touched on, Bonta, about being able to bring Trey Lance in those red zone packages. That's what we saw from Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick scored his first career rushing touchdown when he was backing up Alex Smith now. And this is a scenario that's really, really growing on me, especially if Justin Fields goes second overall, is pairing Trey Lance, drafting him, and whether or not he does it, if he needs time to develop, that's kind of irrelevant. I like Jimmy Garoppolo still being on this roster unless you get significant compensation for him. Like if the Patriots offer the 15th overall pick and you part with the 43rd overall pick and Jimmy Garoppolo, well, I don't see it happening either. With that being said, though, I have no problem keeping Jimmy Garoppolo on the football team this upcoming season. That's just where I stand. And partnering Jimmy Garoppolo with Trey Lance, this is how I see it. First of all, a rookie quarterback has never won the Super Bowl, and you have better Super Bowl odds, and that's the name of the game. Season ticket holders, everybody that follows the 49ers closely wants to see this team get back to the Super Bowl and win it. You have a better chance of that happening with Jimmy Garoppolo starting the season. And what I want to see, regardless if it's Justin Fields or Trey Lance, whoever it is, I want an open competition. I want to open competition. Let these guys go duke it out for at least this season. You move Jimmy next year if you don't get any enticing trade offers. I have an issue with just giving a quarterback the keys to the franchise. There's a sense of entitlement right there. Let them battle. Let them get after it. Go after one another. If the rookie quarterback beats Jimmy Garoppolo, so be it. And you have to trade him for a 6th-round pick, so be it. What's it really going to matter in the long run? But the bottom line is you gotta try to keep the Super Bowl hopes alive in 2021. I don't want to punt the season or be okay going out in the divisional round. You got to try to win a Super Bowl, which is why Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo is such an ideal situation for me. Give Jimmy Garoppolo, if he gets hurt, here comes Trey Lance. But if not, and this is a scenario nobody talks about that I think is somewhat realistic. What if Jimmy Garoppolo plays another 16-game season, has another year like he had in 2019? You're getting almost a 1st-round pick and a 2nd-round pick, 2 1st-round picks. Nobody's talking about that scenario, but I can see it happening. All he has to do is just execute Shanahan's system like he did in 2019. Be the facilitator of that offense. If you complete 70% of your passes, throw 27 touchdowns to whatever he threw. He had a great year in 2019.
Dude, Nick,
he's top 5.
It's disrespectful. It's downright disrespectful to say that wouldn't be an ideal situation. And if Jimmy gets beat out in training camp, then you do what Seattle did. They signed Matt Flynn for $10 million. They draft Russell Wilson. He beats him out. They move off of Matt Flynn just like that. Bye-bye. You could do the same thing with Jimmy Garoppolo in training camp. Anybody need a quarterback, a serviceable quarterback? You know he can win games if he's healthy. There you go, and you roll with Trey Lance. But starting Jimmy Garoppolo with the rookie of a quarterback, a hot shot behind him, will not only bring out the best in Jimmy Garoppolo, think about the weapons on this football team right now. They're a lot better than they were in 2019. All right? You're throwing to Deebo Samuel, who was a rookie wide receiver. A rookie. You had George Kittle, but he was banged up towards the tail end of the season. Remember, he had the pop capsule in his kneecap. Remember, we couldn't figure out what the hell that was, Shasky? He had the ankle issues. He was banged up. Emmanuel Sanders, it's been reported, he had broken ribs. All right? He was playing with broken ribs basically after the 2nd game he was here in San Francisco. So, yeah, Ayuk, Deebo, who I expect to be healthy in year 3, Kittle, and who knows what they're going to do at the other tight end spot. You got a stable of running backs. This is the best skill set, if Jimmy comes back, that he's ever going to have in San Francisco. So who's to say he can't thrive? And I know a lot of people laugh about last year. Look, they beat the Rams on Sunday Night Football when Ayuk, Deebo, and Kittle was in there. They go to New England with Deebo, Ayuk, and George Kittle. They beat the hell out of New England, beat the dog piss out of them, and they were healthy. And then all hell broke loose in Seattle. If Trey Lance is the pick, I'm keeping Jimmy for the year. And I'm saying, you know what? Let's try to win the Super Bowl because, like you said, Nick, nothing's guaranteed 2 years from now. George Kittle's been hurt a lot. That's why I favor Travis Kelce, because he's always available. George Kittle's been banged up a lot. Nick Bosa's coming off a torn ACL. You know what I'm saying? We know about the injury history to D Ford. All right? The cornerback situation with Jason Verrett. Can he stay healthy again? Can Jimmy Ward stay healthy for another 16? Can Jaquiski Tart stay healthy for 16 at strong safety? Because I sure in the hell don't trust Marcel Harris or Charvarius Moore.
Yeah.
So the injuries that come into play in the NFL, you can't look 2 to 3 years down the line outside of the quarterback position. You got to try to win now while this roster is still in its prime. Because if you waste a year, Kittle and company, then what happens 2 years from now? What happens 3 years from now? The wear and tear of this roster. So you got to maximize the situation now. And that's why if you do draft Trey Lance, you keep Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, I think too many people think this is Madden. This isn't a video game. Like, oh my God, you get a pick, and like go through the history of the NFL. Dan Pastorini and Roger Staubach, they battled it out for a long time. Eventually, Roger Staubach, iron sharpens iron. He got better because of it. Joe Montana would go in for Steve DeBerg at times, and Steve DeBerg eventually had to give up the reins to Joe Montana, but it helped Joe Montana to have those moments. You guys referenced Colin Kaepernick going in. Remember the game against the Green Bay Packers before halftime? Alex Smith is the quarterback. He is the starter. Oh, great. Here we go. My phone is ringing. He is the starter for this team, all right? And Kaepernick comes in right before halftime, runs for like 35 yards, slides down, gets them in field goal range, and Akers with half a hip kicks a big-time field goal. We've seen this throughout the league. And then conversely, I saw firsthand when Tim Rattay started the first 4 or 5 games for the 49ers, they said, we're going to move to Alex Smith. We don't want Tim Rattay around. We're going to trade him away. Alex's development was completely stunted. Again, it's not a video game. You know how much downtime there is where you have to go over film and you're with the quarterback? It's nice to have somebody who's taken live bullets in that room with you, studying, teaching the young man. I'm telling you, I discredited how much Alex Smith meant to Colin Kaepernick in 2013 because look at what he was looking at in that film. You're telling me that Alex Smith didn't help him in 2012, even just a little? Just a little? I'm not taking anything away from Kaepernick's ability, but there's a little more to this in terms of the intangibles.
Mahomes.
And so you keep
Think
Jimmy
about Mahomes
Garoppolo,
and Alex Smith.
That's obvious. You keep Jimmy Garoppolo around to teach the young guy how to be a professional every single day and what to look for and the ups and downs and how to get critiqued. Like there's so much more than just the kid being the better player, right? That's one element of it. There's so many facets nobody wants to address.
Mm-hmm. And there's so many people out there talking within the 49ers fan base that just want to see Jimmy Garoppolo gone and just have this rookie thrown into the fire. And I get that. You know, you learn through experience, you get better through experience, but there's something about keeping Jimmy Garoppolo around. It keeps your Super Bowl odds a lot higher. There's no way. You have a better chance of getting to the Super Bowl with a quarterback that was just there 2 years ago than completing something that's never been done before. So it's nice to hear that you guys are on a similar page where there's a lot of good that could come out of keeping Jimmy Garoppolo around. I don't necessarily want him beyond this season, but I think there's a ton more value keeping him on the roster than shipping him off for a 5th-round pick or whatever. I don't know what his trade value is. It's all speculation. You know, best case scenario, he gets
because who are you going to run?
Maybe for a 1st or 2nd-round pick. But if we're talking about a 3rd or a 4th-round pick, I don't want to move Jimmy Garoppolo for that. For what? For what? There's more value keeping. Just look what happened last year having only one competent quarterback when Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard step on the field. If the 49ers just had a little better quarterback play, they would have beat the Washington football team. They would have beat the Dallas Cowboys, and they would have been in the playoffs. That team last year would have been in the playoffs. And that's to Bonte's point where if you look what this team has around them, they're in a position to succeed right now. Why waste a year trying to accomplish something that's never been done before when you have the talking about a rookie quarterback going to and winning the Super Bowl when you have a quarterback that was just there 2 years ago? I'm not saying Jimmy Garoppolo should be the starter in the 2021 season. I'm just saying let them compete against each other and let the better man win, and then let the better man take over the.
What if Justin Fields is the pick at 3? What if Fields drops at 3? You starting Justin Fields day 1?
Well, if Justin Fields looks better than Jimmy Garoppolo, you can't pencil in. I personally don't like penciling in a week 1 starter. Let's just say if Justin Fields if he starts blowing people away at camp and he's head over heels better than Jimmy Garoppolo, yes. But if they're going at it and he's struggling, then no, you don't start him. You start Jimmy Garoppolo. That's why I like to see these guys compete against each other instead of just, oh, you're a 3rd overall pick. Here you go. Here's the keys to the car. Go ahead.
Right.